Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Rants About Tech Live for this April 4th, 2025. We got a couple of good things to talk about today. A couple of updates from the other live show that I did on Wednesday talking about the Switch 2 launch that happened. I didn't have all of the information in, but we do have more information now and a little bit of a controversy about the pricing on gaming and a couple of their accessories that they have with the device. I hope you guys are having a good end of your week here. TGIF, everybody. TGIF. Today is going to be, what is it today? International holidays. We got Qingming Festival Day in China. They're honoring Ancestor Day. So, we don't have a lot. Like, nothing in the U.S. today that's big. But we do have another international holiday, National Carrot Day. I mean, carrots have not shown to improve eyesight like we thought they did when we were kids. So whether you choose to continue to eat the carrots or not is debatable, but it's definitely, I don't think, helping eyesight. Studies show. I was wrong about that in a video I did about 3-4 months ago. Yeah, Carrot Day though. Enjoy some carrots if you like them. I do not, unfortunately. Nice day here in Philadelphia. I say nice meaning weather-wise, it's warm, but it's not cold and freezing. I guess we're headed into spring. Spring is here. And we're not looking back. I was hoping, or not hoping, but expecting a last-minute snowstorm. Apparently in upstate New York, they got a last-minute snowstorm, but we didn't get any of that here in Philadelphia. So gloomy but warm here today. So I hope you guys are having some good weather wherever you are in the world today as well. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all the members for the channel. I appreciate all the chat members. I appreciate all the Discord members. I appreciate everyone who's watching the replay. Thank you to all the first and last time viewers and listeners if you're listening to this on podcast. This is available as an audio podcast as well. Just in case you didn't know. Good morning, Brian. How's it going? Thanks for being here, brother. Let's go ahead and get the air horns going for Brian. What else we got here? Yeah, so thank you guys for being here. I appreciate that. And showing your support for the channel. Let's go ahead and get to some of the stories we got here today. Not a lot of big tech news, but like I said, we got Switch stuff to talk about, so that's always good. Let's get into it. All right, the first thing we got here is the 6 eInk Raspberry Pi projects that came up in my feed quite a lot this week. And I want to take a look at these things. So let's go ahead and talk about those. So this is coming from XDA. Developers.com, and like I said, 6 eInk Raspberry Pi projects that look amazing. Now, if you don't know it, oh boy, did I lose the feed? Oh man, just as I'm getting going, what is going on with my YouTube? Okay, at the beginning of every live, I don't know what's going on. I do the reset, I do the router reset. I got to figure out what is the hiccup for starting the live. So my bad for the jankiness at the beginning of this, you guys. Apologies up front. I still see that it's still not fixed. Oh boy. I think it should be good now. It's still catching up. I don't know. Okay. All right. So we may still be here. We may be here now. Okay. My bad, you guys, for the static. And I don't know what's going on. At the beginning of every stream for the last 3 weeks now, it's been happening where it didn't happen before, and I don't know exactly what's causing this. But it's only at the beginning of the stream. So I think we're good now. Maybe we're not good. Let's see. Oh, we're not good now. We're definitely not good now. Oh boy. Well, technical difficulties. Let's stop. I think I'm gonna stop the stream and start it again. Let's stop the stream. Whoa, am I here still? Am I here now? I can't tell whether I'm here now or not. But I think me stopping it and starting it or restarting it did fix it. You would think I'd be a professional streamer. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm here. My bad. Okay. I don't know what. I guess I have to start it, stop it, and start it again. I don't know. I'm going to look into that, though. So my apologies if you're watching the replay here or if you're seeing this live. The jankiness is unexpected, but it's been happening. I'm going to look into it and try to fix that, though. What were we talking about? The Raspberry Pi. So if you don't know what Raspberry Pi is, it's a project where people try to pack a really small chip in with just the bare essentials. You can get a Raspberry Pi that's the size of smaller than a credit card. And it has inputs for monitor, has USB inputs. I think this Raspberry Pi runs Linux, if I'm not mistaken. But the point is, people are doing a lot of creative things with Raspberry Pi because they're so small, and eInk displays are one of those things that it's doing. I'm not sure what kind of display this is right here. It looks like a color eInk display, but we'll figure it out. Are you as big as a fan of eInk displays as I am? Ever since I started working with XDA, I've had a love for discovering DIY Raspberry Pi projects that use them as part of the process. Let's go ahead and pass the introductions here. First up, let's take a look at this really simple but elegant design. It's a really simple project. It uses an e-ink display to show a clock face. You can choose between an analog clock, a digital display, or other clocks. So this is just a clock display here.
This is a 7.3-inch ink display powered by a Raspberry Pi. It's a low-power
a lot of these things that people are doing with Raspberry Pi are just very similar to what people are doing or how people are using things like Terminal, which I've just got one of those and completed the unboxing video of. But it's looks like it's just along those lines of things people are creating. Here's a weather display that someone has created here with Raspberry Pi. This is an e-ink
weather dashboard powered by a Raspberry Pi.
A lot of these things are just
your location
really nice,
and dates,
nicely
current
framed.
weather conditions with key metrics, an hourly weather graph, and a multi-day forecast.
Right there. What else we got here? A photo frame. So this is just run-of-the-mill stuff that we would know that these things can do already, and we can do these obviously with ink devices that we use for note-taking. This beautiful Raspberry Pi powered color e-ink frame creates endless flower images. Can we take a look at that? Okay, very nice. And I've seen a lot of what Vladimir Kostek has released on his channel, talking about e-ink displays inside of frames used as picture frames. So that's something that's going to become more prevalent here in 2025, 2026 as we move forward here. All right, so basically these are just picture frames. Picture frames, like I said, doing a bit of what we expected the Terminal display to do as well, and things like the Terminal to do as well. All right. And that's that. What's next we got on the docket here? We have a new TikTok deadline. So if you guys don't know, TikTok has a new deadline of Saturday. And I just want to pull up a story kind of talking about that and see where we are in that whole saga drama. All right, looking here at where we at on ABC News. So ABC News, Trump eyes a plan to avoid TikTok ban as deadline looms, says sources. So there is a ban that's supposed to be going into place tomorrow, which is Saturday, April 5th. And this basically talks about whether there's going to be a buyer for TikTok or not. And we still don't know yet as of now. These things always run up until the last minute almost. So I don't anticipate hearing anything until tonight or tomorrow morning about this whole saga. But something interesting about this TikTok ban is that people a lot of people are throwing their bids in to buy TikTok. And it's interesting to me that the people that are putting in bids to buy TikTok, Mr. Beast, I heard, put a bid in to buy TikTok. I don't think that would ever happen, but still, it just lends to the range of people who are putting a bid in to buy TikTok, and which I thought was very interesting. And whether or not it gets sold and banned, I don't think the ban is going to happen. I think I'm not even sure if it gets sold or not. But I definitely don't think the ban is going to happen. I think something happens to keep TikTok in play, just like it did 75 days ago, because this deadline right here is because of an extension that lasted 75 days, and that just ended, or it will end tomorrow. So be interesting to see how this story plays out. Next up, we got ChatGPT using fake images as receipts. Let's check that out. So ChatGPT recently released an update for their image generation tool. And we talked about that earlier in the week as well. This is interesting because this is very interesting to me because we talked a lot about this in the Discord as far as being able to use ChatGPT to make all kinds of images, not just photorealistic images or images of yourself or other people or scenery. I talked about how I thought that ChatGPT image generation is so good right now that it could replace word processing programs. And for a lot of what people do with word processing programs can be done now with ChatGPT. So, and someone in the Discord, shout out to she made the point that there would be, or she started using ChatGPT to make templates, which I thought was a very interesting and unique take on what you can do with this software. So a lot of possibilities for the new image generation software in ChatGPT. And this story right here is basically from TechCrunch talking about ChatGPT's ability to make fake images. And I mean, we all know that it's good at making fake images, but to what degree people would take it is a whole different topic. So we can see here that someone created a really believable looking receipt. Now, how you would go about using this to con someone or fake someone in the retail industry or whatever, now that's a whole nother story, but I think it's very interesting that these tools are becoming so good that you can create things like this. Now, like I said, I've only thought about ways of using them for good, but people are going to try to use these things for bad as well. And this is just an example of that. And I mean, just look at this, just adding stains to the receipt. It's gotten really good. It's gotten really good at image generation, and people are going to use it for all kinds of reasons. I thought this was very interesting right here. Next up, we have some Switch 2 details. So let's go ahead and get it. So the other day I talked about the Switch 2 and where are we at here? There we are. So the other day I talked about the Switch 2 and the launch details that we got from the event that they talked about there. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. The cost $350 or $449, June 5th. Pre-orders, I read somewhere, they don't say in this particular article, but I did read somewhere that pre-orders would start the 8th, June 8th, or not June 8th, but April 8th. I'm not sure how true that is, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, so these are some of the details there they have right here. Now, some of the specs that we didn't get a chance to talk about, 1080p or screen, 200 or 120 frames per second on that screen. LCD screen, not OLED like a lot of people were thinking. It does support HDR. Speakers, 3D sound, noise cancellation on the microphones that they have on it. Now the microphones are on the actual device or the console itself, not on the remotes, which is important if you think about the way they're using microphones now on the Switch 2, whereas you can voice chat with your friends when you're playing the game, or just online with anyone you might happen to be in competition with the system. Now, not having microphones on the controllers, which is the closest thing to you, typically, I think it was a miss. Like that's where the mics should have been, but the mics are on the console itself. 2 USB-C ports, which lets you add the new camera accessory, and I also think you can charge this way as well from the top of the device. 256 gigabytes of storage, and RAM. How much RAM do we got here? I thought they talked about a RAM spec as well. I know I don't see RAM here, which would have been interesting because they don't typically talk about RAM on the Nintendo products. So, but those are just some more information, a little more information on the Nintendo Switch 2 that I didn't give out on Wednesday, or that I didn't catch on Wednesday. But really interesting. A couple more interesting things about the Switch 2 is the cost of the games. Jay, Sheen, how's it going, you guys? Glad you can make it. Let's get the earphones going for you guys. Appreciate you coming. So just some things about the Switch 2 that we're kind of getting under people's skin is the fact that the gaming, as far as the games go, we're talking $80 games here, and that's about $20 more than the Switch games on average cost. So there's a little bit of uproar over the cost of the games. There's a little bit more uproar over the fact that the tutorial game, we talked about a game that showed you some of the details of the Switch 2, and it talked about a little more of the technical aspects of the Switch 2, just to let you know everything that it can do and all of the tech that's kind of jam-packed inside of it. But that was interesting to me, that they would not add that as a bundled thing. And by comparison, they were bundling Wii Sports and Nintendo Sports games with most the consoles that came out. Oh, my brother. Oh, boy. Meta's talking to me. Pause announcements, Meta. I doubt it cares. Anyway, so I thought that they would like bundle that particular tutorial game, the game that showed you about the Switch 2, the system that you just bought, and gave you some details on the system. I thought that would be bundled with the actual console itself, not a bundled thing. They're not bundling any games with this system that I can tell. So that's new and unexpected right there. So $20 for that tutorial game, $80 for Mario Kart, and that's for the download. It's, from what I understand, it's going to be $90 for the physical copy of Mario Kart, which is probably the biggest selling point of the system, like right now. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure that coupled with the fact that they're not coming out with the games that I really want to play, like new ones on that, but for that console specifically, Animal Crossing, Wii Sports, or not Wii Sports, Nintendo Sports. That's the fun I have. I have old man fun with those, and I'm happy with that. Jay says, not really a gamer, although I am trying to get back into it a little. Next week, I'm going to Portland for PDX LAN, which is a big LAN party. Oh, snap. LAN parties? Whoa, I haven't heard the word LAN party in probably almost 20 years. It's been a minute. I'm sure they get really rowdy now. Way more exciting than what they used to be. So yeah, that's the Nintendo Switch information there. So more expensive games, better console, bigger system, bigger screen. From what I understand, the screen real estate, even though it's LCD, is really good and looks on par, if not better, than the OLED, the OLED screen on the secondary, or not the secondary, but the upgraded Switch, the original. So the original had an LCD, then they upgraded the original to an OLED, and the rest is history. So yeah, Switch 2 details. There we go. All right, next up we have the most influential game of all time. Let's now, whether you're a gamer or not, I think that most. Oh no. Oh my bad. We can't get to that yet. There's one story we didn't get to, and that's did we get to the Elon Musk step down? No, we didn't. Oh boy, we missed it. Let's get to the Elon Musk stepping down story. So this is a story talking about Elon Musk asked to step down from Tesla. So that was the headline I wrote down. But when I came to do the story this morning, I see the headline had changed from "Is Elon stepping down from Tesla?" Because of all the backlash that's happening. It went from that to Elon is reportedly stepping down from his role at the White House. So yeah, things change overnight apparently. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So Elon Musk reportedly to step down from his lead Trump role as service limits near. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these details here. Tech, but some politics. But I'm just concerned about the tech side of this. This guy owns a lot of tech companies, and where he is the CEO at is of utmost concern because that's where the decisions are being made. So anyway, Elon Musk's polarizing stint slashing and bashing federal bureaucracy will probably soon end, with the world's richest person government service hitting its legal limit in the coming weeks. He's got a big company to run. At some point, he's going to be going back, Donald Trump told reporters on Monday. I'll keep him as long as I could keep him, the president added. As a special government employee, Musk faces a strict 130-day cap on his service. Wow, that's something I didn't know. That's something I didn't know, that there was a cap on how much service that was being lended in this particular case. Probably expiring in late May if counted from the day of inauguration, despite earlier White House claims Musk was here to stay. Yeah, that's what I heard. So to hear that there was a cap on it, and there's always been a cap on it, is interesting. I didn't know that. Administration insiders told Politico on Wednesday that Musk would indeed be stepping down from his lead role in the weeks to come. But Musk called the reporting fake news, and the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt on Wednesday said the Politico story was garbage. Whoa, she must listen to the channel. She's calling things garbage. I'm like, that's what we do here. That's what we do here. Anyway, I thought that was very interesting that the narrative went from, is he stepping down from Tesla or is he leaving the White House? So I guess he's going back to Tesla as a CEO, and hopefully the grumblings of is he stepping down from Tesla will end after this whole 130-day stint. But we'll see. I'll keep my eye on this, and we'll do a little more reporting on this in the future there. All right, let's go on to the next story. Now we can get on to the most influential video game of all time. Let's check it out. So there's a list that was put out by BAFTA. And I don't know what BAFTA stands for, so let's figure that out. BAFTA. I don't know why 5 got there. There we go. BAFTA Film Award winners. The British Academy Film Awards, more commonly known as the BAFTAs or BAFTA Awards, is an annual film award show hosted by the British Academy of Film and Television Arts to honor the best British and international contributions to film. Okay, so that's who's giving out the most influential video game awards? That's interesting. Okay, let's check it out anyway. Okay, now, Shenmue. Shenmue is the most influential game of all time, according to new poll by the BAFTA, the film people. Yeah, there we go. So, if you don't know, well, first of all, half of the games on this list, even if you're not a gamer, you've either heard of or you've played, 100%. There's some super big games on this list. Let's go ahead and go through the list first, and then we'll talk about Shenmue itself. Number 1, we got Shenmue. Number 2, we got Doom. Totally expected. I didn't expect Shenmue to be number 1. I've got to put that out there right now. I didn't expect that. We'll talk about why in a second. 2, we got Doom. 3, Super Mario Brothers, and then Half-Life. Half-Life definitely should be on that list. Mario Brothers definitely. Doom definitely. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I've played all of those games. Doom, Super Mario Brothers, Half-Life, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Shenmue. We got Minecraft at number 6. I played that. Number 7, we got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, I wanted to play that. PC only game. Looked really good. The first one looked good. And I'm like, and that's a relatively new game. All these other games on this list, old as dirt. But this Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, that's like one in the last 3 years. So that's super surprising to be on this list. But the game, really good. So I guess, yeah, influential. Super Mario 64. Half-Life 2. Well, I'm surprised that Super Mario Brothers beat out Super Mario 64. Whatever. Half-Life 2, which I'm surprised to beat out Half-Life because no one even knew about Half-Life till Half-Life 2 came out. Whatever. The Sims we got on the list at number 10. Definitely. Tetris, I think should have been higher. Tomb Raider, why is it even on this list? 13, we got Pong. That probably should have been higher. 14, we got Metal Gear Solid. Wow. Okay. That's a good game. I don't know where it belongs on the list, but it definitely should be here. World of Warcraft should be here as well. Baldur's Gate 3, that's a relatively new game as well. So 2 relatively new games on this list that I'm not sure if I agree with. Final Fantasy 7, definitely agree with. Should have been higher. Dark Souls, Grand Theft Auto 3 at number 19. Yeah. The Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim. Yeah, Skyrim should have been higher. Skyrim is one of those games. It probably should have been higher. Grand Theft Auto is at number 21. Which, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 3 should have beat Grand Theft Auto because Grand Theft Auto was just 3/4 perspective trash. I didn't like it at all. As a matter of fact, I bought the game, probably threw it in the trash because it was a physical CD at that time. We did physicals back then, boys and girls. We did physical media. Let's go ahead and go to the chat real quick before we head on. Mashup Mike, how's it going? Glad you could join us. Let's get the air horns going for Mr. Mike. Oh my God, the chat. Oh, eInk. Oh, thank you so much. I forget that every single time. Why is that default? YouTube should fix that. Thanks, eInk. Now I can see all the chats. Okay. What is top chat? Yeah, that's things I can't. I don't know what they consider top chat. I don't know how what goes into a top chat. That's anyway. It's meant for large groups. Yeah, definitely meant for large groups. But I don't know what goes into that. I think it should be a lot of fun. Plus, I have friends out there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, that's pretty impressive. A LAN party. Skyrim should have been way higher. Yes, Skyrim was super influential. I would even say Skyrim probably should have. If they were going to go with a game like Shenmue, Skyrim should have been number 1. Is it default for us as well? Oh wow. Okay. Cool. All right. So anyway, let's talk about Shenmue. So I have a little bit of experience with Shenmue. Now I didn't expect Shenmue to be number 1 on this list. I didn't. Now, just some history about this game my personal history about the number 1 game on this list. I was in Okinawa, Japan when this game came out. So, matter of fact, I was in Okinawa, Japan when the Dreamcast, the system that this game came out on was launched. So, it launched a year before it came out here in the US. And because I was already in Japan, I just went and picked me up a Japanese Dreamcast. I was like, I don't care about the localization. I'll translate it. I'll figure it out. And people, there was no Google Translate back in those days. We're talking 98, 99, okay? That's what we're talking here. So there was no Google like translate that was going to help me translate this. I had to do all the translation on my own. So, but I figured it out. We got through the game. Super fun game. Now, the reason why I was excited by this game when it first came out, and I had to buy the Japanese version of it and not wait for the American version, was because I was a huge Virtua Fighter fan, and the man who created Virtua Fighter created this game. So basically, this is like a Virtua Fighter on steroids with a story. I'm like, oh man, yes, give me that. Give me Virtua Fighter with a story. I'm all there, and I was. It was good. You had to learn a lot of fighting techniques, and Virtua Fighter is not about straight up fighting. Virtua Fighter is about counters, using what your opponent is about to do. They're using their momentum and energy to force them into a situation they didn't want to be in. That's really what Virtua Fighter was all about. If you got good at manipulating people's movements in the game, you were golden. It really wasn't about attacks at all. I mean, the attacks were even more powerful when you did counters. So anyway, I love that game. I love Virtua Fighter. I love the person who made it. I love the fact that he was bringing that Virtua Fighter graphical style to an actual story-driven game that had a lot of like fighting in it that you had to know about Virtua Fighter kind of to play it and play it well. And if you got good at Shenmue, you could go to Virtua Fighter and kick butt because the controls were very similar. Anyway, story-driven fighting game, which I thought was cool at the time. The coolest thing about this wasn't even the fighting or anything else. The coolest thing about this game to me, and I think they might have mentioned it in this article, was how well they captured Japanese culture and the feel of Japan in the 80s. Now, I don't know what Japan like was in the 80s, but I do know what the 80s was like. And a lot of the things that were happening in Japan in the 80s, like you could see, like the leather jackets, the tight jeans, like, I mean, the spiked hair, like a lot of those things carried over into other cultures. I mean, you know, maybe those things carried over to us from other cultures. Who knows? Back and forth, right? But the point being, the world felt alive. You could go to vending machines and get soda, chips. Like you can go to smaller vending machines that only gave out toys. Like, and you could collect the toys that these vending machines gave out in different parts of the cities that you were walking and running through. You could talk to anyone. Everyone had a story. It was a very cool game. Very cool game. So anyway, it's cool to see that it got number 1 on this list as most influential game of all time. I'm not sure if I trust the people who made the list. It's a film company. And like I said, I think we've come to understand that Skyrim should have been way higher on a really credible list of video games. Skyrim wouldn't be number 20 under Metal Gear Solid. Like Metal Gear Solid was good, but it wasn't Skyrim good. Anyway, I thought that this was interesting. I thought that list was very interesting. Sheen says, well, will you take my game card if I say I never heard of Shenmue? No, Shenmue is niche. It's not, I wouldn't frown upon you if you didn't know what Shenmue was, Sheen. It was a very niche game for a very niche console. Like a lot of people didn't even buy the Dreamcast. And a lot of people don't even know what the Dreamcast was. Sega was a niche company. Like it was never as big as Nintendo or Sony for that matter, which is why they got out of their hardware game, which sucks so bad because they essentially got out of their software game after that, even though they said they wouldn't. But whatever. Sonic has never been the same since. All right. And that is the end of the stories and updates we have for today. But I did want to talk about eInk specific topics. So let's go ahead and get to that. Oh, there we go. So the last thing, what I want to start doing is do a couple of weekly things here. One of those things is features that we miss in products or features that we found this week that we thought was cool. I didn't prepare well enough to do that this week. We will do that next week though. But one of the things I want to start doing every live show though is going over my notes about a particular device that I have and just kind of going off on the notes that I'm going to be putting into a video or talking about the notes that I'm taking for that week for whatever project I'm working on for that week. So that's something I want to start doing. This week, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be working on the Viwoods and getting that review out for that device. And so I have some notes, and we're going to talk about some of the things I do and do not like about the Viwoods. And maybe it's some things you've heard before, maybe it's some things you haven't heard before, but we're going to jump into it. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, so right here. All right, so we got the Viwoods up here. I'm going to leave that there for now. So this is the Viwoods AI paper. Now, I'm going to say a couple of things right off the top about this device. I love the writing feel. It doesn't matter what pen I use. I mean, I've been using the Heart of Metal on this particular device just because I want to see. I've been testing my pen and this pen with the nib differences. So I've been using. It feels good. It's a harder screen, but this is a Mobius display on the Viwoods device. So I love the writing experience. It feels really good. And you can tell the writing experience on a Mobius display when you feel it. If like, you know the difference when you've experienced it. So same situation with the Manta we have here. Both of these devices have, get this out of here. Both of these devices have Mobius displays on them. So we're just gonna go through some notes, and then we're gonna demo the ones that are worth demoing. But we're just gonna fly through some notes here, just like what do they call that? Rapid fire style. There we go. Settings are very similar to the eNote, which I think that's something that people have brought up before. Let's go to the settings here. The settings setup to me is a lot like how the eNote is set up. Very minimal settings, just kind of bare bones, but gives you just what you need though. I mean, you're not lacking anything here. So that's one of the things I took away from just jumping in. No gestures. So there are no gestures for refreshing the screen, for undo, redo. You don't get any gestures with this particular device here. So that's something to keep in mind if you're used to Boox devices, if you're used to the Supernote platform. Both of those platforms, even the Remarkable platform has gestures, right? To some extent. This device has none. If you guys found some, let me know. But I haven't found any gestures as far as swiping down from the screen to get to the shortcut. Okay, but that's it. That's the only gesture you get that I have found. There's no other gestures here. Go back here. There's no other gestures here that you can customize that's going to do anything. But they do have the buttons down here. Oh, Jay says he wished the Notebook LM had an Android app. Oh, we're going to talk about Notebook LM here today before we go as well. They've added one new feature that I thought was cool. They do have an Android app, Jay, and you can do exactly what. Oh no, maybe it's not an Android app. Maybe it's just a web app. No. Notebook LM has an app. Do they? Yeah, Notebook LM. There's an app right here. So Notebook LM does have an app, Jay. Go check it out. It's good. It takes a long time to do the podcast thing, but it's good. Pen nib plastic. But is it precise as ceramic? It's good. It's good. I'm still doing some work on that, but it's really good. Meeting seems to be something that could have been a template. So let's go ahead and check that out. So this is something I noticed about the Viwoods as a whole. So if you click on the hamburger bar at the left here, which I think is a cool feature for the Viwoods AI paper, this kind of stays around. So you can jump to different parts of the operating system. So up top we have home. Then we have paper, which is like a notes app. Okay. Then we have, is that meetings? Yeah. Then we have meetings, which is a separate notes app that incorporates a default template. Redundancy. Anyway, moving on from that. After that, we got pics, which is simply just screenshots that you've written on. Like pickings. Why do we even need... To me, this is my problem with that. You don't need separate apps for the pickings with the screenshots or the meetings. To me, those should have been... just add that meeting template to the templates and let me just make a folder called meetings, and then I can use whatever template I want for those meetings. I'm not stuck with a default template like you are in the meetings app. Which, why is there a meetings app? That doesn't even compute to me. So anyway, I don't like that they've splintered off the notes app into three different notes apps. I don't like that at all. So that's not good at all. I don't like that. That's just more to think about. Redundancy. And that's a theme I'm noticing with this device. I've said that a lot, but I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to be redundant about the redundancies. What else we have here? And I don't like the fact that the library is called, the reading app is called library. Like, a lot of naming conventions with this device just don't make a lot of sense to me. Like, learning? Like, what if my PDF is not about learning at all? What if my PDF is just about fun? I don't know. It don't have... Everything ain't learning, though. I can tell you that right now. Every PDF I download to a device is not about learning. So, it just... I don't know. It confused me. I saw that and I was like, oh, I wonder what learning is. Click on it. Oh, it's the Reader app. Gotcha. I don't like it. Anyway, moving on. We talk about the meetings there. I don't really get the organization up front. So the more I use the device, the more it kind of, I don't know, it angers me. Like, I want to like it. I really do. Don't get me wrong. I want to like this device. I've been waiting for an update to make me like it, to change all of this. But the update didn't change any of this confusion, this mess right here. This is a mess. I don't even know, like, if there's someone looking at this right now that looks at this and says, "Oh, that's organized. I love the way that's organized. That's fantastic." When I see that, I instantly think that's efficient. Nothing about this says efficient to me. I don't know why. It looks like a jumbled mess, but it does, and I don't want to look at it. I wish there was a way to change this home screen to be something else that my brain can look at and comprehend. This breaks my brain. I don't know why it does. See, too, it just, you would think it would be good. You get paper, meeting. Okay, that's probably why. I'm seeing the redundancies right up front here. The calendar app is good though. I gotta say, I like the calendar app 100%, and we'll talk about that probably another live. Sheen says that Viwoods is really reinventing a wheel that didn't need to be invented. Like they wanted to put their own spin on things and went too far. Yes, that's exactly what this is an example of. Them wanting to put their own stamp on something and just going too far with it. There's no need for 3 different notes apps. And that's exactly what we have here. 3 different note apps. One that's called paper, one called meetings that gives you a default template, and one called picking that's essentially you can a piece of paper that you can scribble on. And if you got screenshots that you take, and you can use those screenshots as your piece of paper to scribble on. It's that should have been a part of the notes app. None of this makes sense. The learning, again, name-wise, is bad. The apps here, I think this looks tacky to me, and it looked tacky to me on the eNote as well. I don't know why having a jumbled group of apps looks tacky to me, but it does. This doesn't make it look any better to me. The eNote that didn't make it look any better to me. I don't like seeing this at all. Maybe a bottom row of apps or something, but like showing me a box of apps, I don't know. Maybe it's the most frequently used apps. I don't know. Even then. Aaron says, how does it perform? Let's go up because I missed a couple of chats. Let's go up here real quick. Learning and picking are goofy names. Yes. First of all, let's point out the elephant in the room, Jay. You're absolutely right. It's total silly names. Why learning for the reader? Because like I said, a lot of my PDFs ain't about learning at all. Ain't about learning at all. Picking. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Aaron says, how does it perform? So, performance-wise, I don't like it. I'm not gonna hold you, and I'm gonna show you why right now. And this is the example I go up right off the top. I say this a lot, right? I say this all the time. You guys gonna know what I'm talking about. If you make an eInk note-taking app and you don't get this tool right here right, I don't even care about your device anymore. I've tipped my hand too. I've tipped it too much on that one. But if you don't get what I'm about to do right now right, I can't really take you seriously. I just can't. You're a contender at that point. You're not in the game. You're a contender to the game. You're not even on the same playing field as the big 3 if you can't get this right. Because all 3 of them get this right in their own way. Let me show you. So, the lasso tool, the selection tool. If your selection tool is garbage, I just don't want to, I can't. Anyway. Now, the fact that they give you some tools up here, good on you. I like that. You get a good amount of tools right here, unlike the Remarkable, unlike Boox, the Boox platform. They give you one tool. It's the convert text tools. Step your game up, Onyx. Jesus. Anyway, this tool right here has a good amount of tools, but wait till I start moving it. You see that? You see that? That's never gonna do, chat. That's never gonna do. That's never, ever, ever going. And I'm moving slow. If I move fast, oh my goodness. That's chat. That's never gonna do. Ever. So let me give you an example of what a good selection tool looks like. If you don't know, if you've been not knowing for a while, let me show you what a good selection tool looks like. This, my friends, is a good selection tool. I don't want to mess up my stuff, so I'll create another page here. And the file manipulation on the Supernote is so top notch, so intuitive. Oh my God, man! To just to put a page after a page that I'm working on, you know what kind of work I have to do on the Remarkable to get that to happen? You know what kind of work I got to... Oh, okay, never mind. I was about to say, you know what kind of work I got to do on the Boox platform to do that, but it's not that much work. But the Remarkable platform, you know what kind of work I have to do to get that to do? I'm not even going to talk about the Viwoods. To add a page after a page, chill out. You almost got to be a programmer. But anyway, let's do this. Okay, this is how a selection tool should work, chat. First of all, you got a premium set of tools here when you select something. You don't have to go to the toolbar over here. It's right there for you. Anything you're going to need, it's super contextual. If you need it for your selection, it's going to be there. Okay, Supernote all the way. Superpowers. Anyway, watch when I move this around. Chat, look at that. I mean, it's so nice. It ain't this janky mess right here. You see what I'm saying? You see the difference? You see the difference? All right, let me try to spin this. I gotta go slow because it's not gonna allow me to go fast. Now watch when I try to spin the Supernote. I'm gonna go. Look at that. Look at that. Whoa. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. You see what I'm saying? Now let me just go move this thing. Okay, bam, right here. I can fine move it. I can quickly move. Come on, man, chill out. Supernote selection tool, the best for manipulating text. Onyx has got the selection tool on smash when it comes to just the selection tool in general. That's tough. That's tough. You know what? No, I'm gonna go with the Supernote here. Supernote has the best selection tool in the business. Period. Point blank. That's it. Aaron says Boox has all those tools. No, it doesn't. No, bro. Let's look at that. I'm gonna show you the tools that the Boox platform has. Let's take a look at that. I'm gonna show you the difference here. You don't get those tools. You don't get those tools here. Watch. I'm just gonna select this right here. You get one tool. You don't get those tools. Yeah, you get those tools in the toolbar. I mean, but you have those in the toolbar on the Supernote too. What I'm talking about is those tools right where you select it. Say I wrote down here. Say I wrote down there and I wanted to select this. You get no tools right here. You get one tool, and that's the conversion tool. So you don't say, but you see the difference here. You get that one AI tool. You get that one AI tool. There we go. Right there, that AI tool is the only one you get. With the Supernote, you get like 8 tools, bruh. You see those? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get 10 tools right here that you don't have to go into a menu to get to. They're just right at the site of selection, right where you need them at. With the Boox platform, yeah, you get those tools in the toolbar. Yeah, they stay there. I get that. But at the site of selection, you get one tool, and that's the AI conversion tool, which does me no good most of the time. So that's what I mean, Aaron, by that. The selection tools, not the tools in the toolbar over here. Yeah, those tools stay there as well, but to get them right here where I'm actually working at is what I'm talking about. All right. So that's that. Can we get back to here? Oh boy. All right. There we go. So let's get back to this Viwoods here. So that's one of the problems. Whoa. Can we go back? There we go. So that's one of the problems I have with the Viwoods AI paper. Yeah. This is different for everybody. I'm just talking about the. I guess this would be a. What do they call it? In video gaming, they have a name for this. Comfort or life comfort or comfort. In video gaming, we have a term for this where the programmers don't add a new feature to the game. They're just making some of the things that you do in the game easier to do than what they were before. I forgot what term that is, but that's essentially what that is. When you got tools at the site of selection, like that's not going to be for everybody. But for me, it's easier to say I'm going to select this, and instead of having to go all the way over here to the toolbar, the tools are right there and they're contextual. So whereas the toolbar gives you every tool it has, when you select something on a Supernote, it only gives you the tools you can use right then and there. Which that to me is supreme. All right, let's go to the next thing we got here. Meetings could have been a template. I think I said that already. The next thing we got, I don't really get the organization up front of the home screen, which we just talked about as well. Fingerprint reader is nice and discreet. Doesn't work all that well though. It works less than it does. Oh boy, I'm not saying that right, but you get the point. It could be better, and its ability to read a fingerprint. Because a lot of the times I'll get to a point where I've tried my finger so many times that it'll just lock me out and say you can't try again for 30 seconds, and that happens a lot. So a more, I guess, foolproof fingerprint reader would be nice. Because at this point, I just want to turn the security measures off because it's so cumbersome. What else we got here? I do like their intro. So they do an intro to the Viwoods, right? When you first turn the system on, it walks you through a tutorial. I think the only device that I've gotten that doesn't do that is Boox platforms doesn't have a tutorial. The Remarkable has a tutorial. I don't think the Supernote has a tutorial per se, but they do have that film over the device that gives you pointers as to what is what, right? Which I think is very cool. And the Viwoods has a tutorial, and I think they do it in a very nice and intuitive way. Visual examples of eInk specific terms and concepts. Like if you're new to eInk and you bought a Viwoods AI paper, it does such a good job of explaining what these eInk specific terms are and things that you may not have anticipated having to deal with, like refreshing. It explains that process. It explains why you got to do it. It explains ghosting. It explains a lot of the way eInk moves, right, and the way it is displayed on the screen. So they do a very good job of explaining those eInk specific terms and walking you through eInk specific topics. So I like that. I like how they did that. And it was very visual, which I'm a graphical visual person, so I would have appreciated that had I not gotten my feet wet in eInk already. Here we go. I love the variable erasure size, like more pressure on the pen making a darker line. Now, in practice, it doesn't work. They say that, and I'm going to give you an example of that. They say that you got pressure sensitive erasing on the pen. Not true. So let's go ahead and check it out. So I'm using the eraser end of the pen right now. I'm going to erase part of the line. So I'm erasing. Now I'm going to press. Now I'm just not pressing at all, right? And it doesn't even erase until the eraser gets right on top of the line. Now I'm going to press really hard, which should mean that the area has expanded and it's going to erase things that should not be close to the pin. But as you can see, well, you can't see that. Oh boy. Oh, you can't see it. I'm pressing down hard and the pin is still got to be over the line before it erases it. Like you see what I'm saying? Like it's erasing it, but you can still see the line while it's going over it. Theoretically, me pressing really hard should make it so that the line would disappear before the pin even got to it. That would mean that the area is expanding as the pressure increases. That's not happening here. So they tout that as a feature, but it doesn't work. Now, even the pressure sensitivity of the pin is not good. I'm just gonna put that, like you can see, like I'm gonna show you right here. Don't pay attention to me having a sweaty armpit. Act like you didn't see that. Okay. Right here you can see I'm gonna just draw. I'm gonna draw a line, and I'm gonna get progressively. I'm gonna put more pressure on the pin as I go across and draw the line. So normally, what you would see. Matter of fact, let's just do normally what you would see. This is what you would normally see on a pin that had pressure sensitivity. You would see light, and then as I increase the pressure, the line gets thicker. Now you can't really see the actual point where the line got thicker. Now I know that the line got thicker somewhere in here, but to point out the actual point to where it got thicker, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I know that the line got thicker on this end somewhere right here, but to point out the point where, I can't see that. And that's how it should be. Detecting different levels of pressure. The Viwoods AI paper does not detect as many levels of pressure as it says it does. And I know this because I can actually see where the pressure increases, the exact point where the pressure increases. And if there's varying levels of pressure that can be detected, you won't see that point. That tells me that it's not the 8,000 levels of pressure that normal Wacom detects. Even if it is, they've done something with the programming to make that more visible than it should be. So let's go ahead and check it out. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line right here. Whoops. And I'm just going to get progressively thicker or harder on how I go down on the line. Okay. I'm going to do it one more time. Now, from what I can tell, this pen or this display can only, you know what? Let's just make sure. Let's use the pen that it comes with just to make sure. Let's get rid of this. Yep, it does it here too. So I'm gonna do it one more time to make it apparent. Okay, so yeah, it happens with both pens. The pen that it comes with, and it happens with the Lamy or the harder metal that I use as well on this. So let's take a look at this. Let's get down a little bit more. All right, so we can see here. All right, so we can see here exactly where the line thickness changed at. We got right here. I can't see where it changed over here, but I can see on this one, it changed right there. And I can see it changed right here for that one. You can see the exact spot where the line thickness occurs at. Even right here, you can see that that was a change right there. So no matter what pen I use to make these changes with, you can see where the transition is happening at on this device. Whereas on the Supernote right here, you don't see that transition. You know that the line's getting light to dark, but to call out the exact point where that transition happened at, you can't do that. So that's one of the things I didn't like about the screen and the performance of the Viwoods here. Doesn't sense all the levels of pressure sensitivity, or doesn't have all the levels of pressure sensitivity that other devices have, and I haven't encountered this on any other device. So the Remarkable doesn't have that issue. None of the Boox devices I have has that issue to where you can distinctly tell where the change is happening at. Supernote definitely doesn't have that issue. So yeah, another thing that I noticed about the Viwoods is that just wasn't on par with other devices. So the selection tool is being one. The selection tool is just not on par with other devices. So that to me is not a deal breaker, but that's where I start, right? And then we got this issue that we just encountered here. That's what else we got here. I wasn't impressed when I first saw the screen, but it really is impressive. Tags seem to be the only way to index things. So two of the things I just mentioned here, and then we'll end this particular session of this and go on to Notebook LM. But I wasn't impressed with the screen when I first used it, but I do like the screen. It feels really good. It's Mobius all the way through and through. When you write on a Mobius and a non-Mobius, you know the difference if you've had that experience. So yeah. It's just something to be said for the writing experience on this that's just really good. Is it as good as a Supernote? I don't think so, but it's really good, really good. And the last thing is tags. Tags on the Viwoods AI paper are more akin to the tags, on the Remarkable, or how Remarkable does it. The Remarkable platform uses tags for everything. You do have bookmarks here. So that's helpful. So that's not exactly like a star system on the Supernote platform, because a star system is kind of a bookmark and a placeholder in one. But this does have bookmarks, so that's helpful. But the only indexing tool you're going to find here on the AI paper is tags. So that's your only way to index your notes and things, which isn't bad. That's how the Remarkable does it. That's how I learned to use tags. That's how I'm using tags on a Supernote now, actually. Ed put that on my radar not too long ago. Like I said, it's something I had forgotten, because once you get a Supernote, you start using things the Supernote way. But you can use keywords as tags, the same way tags work on the Remarkable. You can use those the same way on the Supernote platform, and they work the same way. So not only can keywords be keywords, they can also be tags. Marvelous. I love dual purpose things. You got three purposes? Oh, even better. Even better. That's it. So let's go ahead and get back to Notebook LM here really quickly. Let's look at here. So Notebook LM. So Notebook LM essentially has, whoa, that wasn't what I wanted to look at. Now is it? Is this it? Oh boy. There we go. All right, Notebook LM. So Notebook LM, we talk about Notebook LM a lot on the show here, and it's a tool that's getting more traction. Like, more schools are using this tool, more educators are using this tool. It's a really good tool to help self-educate as well. One of the biggest features is the podcast feature, to where you can input a PDF of your own, and it will generate a podcast on the topic of the PDF for you, and you can even ask the host of the podcast, of which there are two, questions on those PDFs that you input, and it will answer those questions for you. A great way to get information passively, if you can call it that. But again, Notebook LM has always been something that you have to input your own files and documents into, right? Now they've added a tool in Notebook LM called Discover Sources, to where you can just type in what topic you want to learn more about, and it will pull its own sources into a notebook and then create a podcast on those sources. And then you can make queries on those sources if you would like. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Google has to say here about this. This is released a couple of days ago, so right after our last live show, this was thrown out there. Notebook LM helps you understand anything. If you've used Notebook LM before, you've manually uploaded sources to your projects, whether you're writing a paper, explaining a vacation, or transcribing interviews. But starting today, there's a new option, Discover Sources. When you tap the Discover Sources button in Notebook LM, you can describe the topic you're interested in, and Notebook LM will bring back an accurate collection of relevant sources from the web. You can add those sources to your notebook in one click. It's a fast and easy way to quickly grasp a new concept or gather essential reading on a topic. And they have a little example here. Again, I used my Notebook LM today, and I saw that Discover Sources button. I haven't used it yet, so I'll give some more examples of this on Monday's show. But it is very interesting that you don't need your own sources now to do it. And that was one of the hiccups to Notebook LM. It's like, okay, I want to use it, but now I got to go find sources, right? Now it finds those sources on its own. Like if I wanted to, like we did a live demonstration of, we threw the Manta, the Supernote Manta manual into Notebook LM and had it create a podcast, and we asked questions of it in a live a while back. Oh wow, let's get to the chat real quick before I continue on this. But let me finish this thought though. A while back I used Notebook LM for that purpose. And we did it on live, and it worked really well, really well. It answered all our questions accurately. But the problem was finding PDFs. So I asked the chat, hey, send me a PDF. And so I think back then we had to use email, but now we got Discord to do that with. Oh boy. Now we got Discord to do that with, and it's great. So anyway, that's one of the obstacles of using Notebook LM that they just thrown out the window. Now you don't have to have your own sources. It could find sources for you. Let's go to the chat real quick. Whoa. We got Sheen says, and Boox is one that super needs a tutorial. Talking about the tutorial we talked about earlier, absolutely. It's definitely the one that needs a tutorial, but think about what a tutorial would be like. The tutorial would need a tutorial if they made a tutorial. So, I mean, they can't win at this point. It's just, the software is just so bloated. They need to just do a revamp. They need to do a whole revamp of the operating system. Aaron says, so as far as writing feel, is it responsive? How's the ghosting, and how good is the organization on your notes and files? So, the organization is not as good. File management. So let me just, we're talking about this was talking about the Viwoods here. So getting back to that, Aaron's question, the responsiveness, I don't like the responsiveness because to me, the selection tool tells you everything you need to know. Like writing is going to be good. Writing is good on here. So I have no problems writing on the device. Using the fingerprint scanner, you see what I'm saying? It's like hit or miss. All right, it worked that time. So writing on it, it feels good. It's responsive. I don't like the pen though. This plastic nib is straight garbage. It's pressure sensitive though. So it's just like the Supernote pens, the tip of the pen goes in with less pressure than you need to apply to the Supernote pen. If I tried to do this with a Supernote pen, that nib would go through my finger. But I can do this to this pen because the pressure needed to apply it is not that great. So the writing experience is good. I don't like the responsiveness though. Like I said, to me, when the selection tool is sluggish, that tells you everything you need to know. Could that be a refresh rate setting that they could fix and make that a little bit more responsive? Possibly. But the fact that they know how unresponsive it is and decided that, oh, that's cool, that's good enough for us. That's not good enough for me. And it's not good enough for me. So there's that. As far as file organization goes, no, I don't like file organization on here either because you can't. Let's go to files right here. So these are our note files right here. Admittedly, I don't have a lot of them, but let's just say I wanted to copy a note. So I can move the note here. I can rename it. Let's go over here. I can move it, rename it, lock it, favorite, tag, and delete. So let's move. Now, again, what I want to do is copy this file. I have a squirrel outside of my window. Oh, is it? Oh, I can't do the iPhone. Oh boy. Okay, never mind. I thought we could switch over to the iPhone and see squirrels, but that squirrel was brazen. Like he wanted to come in. Anyway, so back to this right here. So I can select this, right? But if I wanted to copy it, You know what I'm saying? Like there's no copy option here. Share, move, rename, lock, favorite, tag, and delete. What if I was making a template and I want to just keep copying that template so I don't have to recreate the template over and over again? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the file organization here. It could be better. Now let's just go into here. Now to do what I was trying to do, what I have to do is go into here. I have to go to pages. Oh boy. Now, set as cover, share, delete. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? The file management is not that good. So file management could use some work. When simply copying a file is like this. Oh, thanks, Shing. Let's get that going. I appreciate the. What is this? A super thanks. Appreciate that. Everyone's going for Shing in the chat today. Appreciate you. I gotta get a graphic going with fireworks and confetti when that happens. Matter of fact, putting that down today. I'm making me a super thanks graphic that explodes when that happens. So thank you, Sheik. I appreciate you. All right. So, there we go. So I don't like the fact that you can't easily manipulate things. Like when you can't easily figure out how to copy or duplicate a file, you know what I'm saying? That's a problem. So the fact that you can't easily do that here, like by example, I hate to throw the Supernote out here because the Supernote probably has the best file management there is. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna say probably. It has the best file management. I know, Aaron, you're not gonna like that, but it's the truth, bro. It's the truth. All these devices have their strengths and weaknesses. A lot of strengths are being displayed here for the Supernote platform. But another way the Supernote platform rules in the file management is, first of all, no matter how I got to this file, no matter how I got here, if I got here through the favorites list, if I got here through my recents list, if I scrolled, if I like drudged myself through the file tree, however I got to this file, if I wanted to go and create another file in the note or in the folder that this file is in, it's simple. No matter how I got here, I hit that button right there. Matter of fact, I don't even want to use that piece of trash right there. I hit that button right there. I'm instantly in the folder. I can create a new folder in that folder. I can create a new file in this folder that I'm already in. That's beautiful. That's the first thing that makes it beautiful. Second thing that makes it beautiful, let me just long tap on here. Look at these options I get. I can rename. I can copy. I can move. I can delete. I can select all. I got more options. I can lock it. If it was locked, I could unlock it. If it wasn't added already, I could add it to my quick access list over here. But it's added already, so there's no need to do that. You get what I'm saying? There's tons of options here for this. Now, let's just go to the file tree. Let's just go to files. And I'm in notes. Bam. It's a deep file tree. It's deep. It's a big one. Okay, let's go back. Now I can go back. Oh, it didn't let me. Okay, there we go. All right, so if I just want to do anything with the files that are in this particular note right here, like I said, you get way more options. And not only that, let's just go back to the file here because I didn't see what I was looking for. All right, let's just select something right here. Okay, you don't get that here. Oh, wow. Okay, so my bad. This is a different platform. Now, I thought what would happen is I would get a duplicate option, like where I can duplicate the note. But there's a spot where the remarkable shines. Let's look at that. So the remarkable even gives you the option to duplicate the note. So it doesn't get, so it's not like, oh, you want to copy this note to somewhere else? Not only that, it will let you duplicate the note. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so let's go into the remarkable. So we're at the remarkable here. We're at the files. Now, we looked at the Viwoods here. The Viwoods don't even give you the option to copy nothing. Okay, whatever. The Supernote gave you the option to at least copy it and move it. Okay, 2 options you didn't get on the Viwood. The remarkable goes a step further and says, oh, you want to just duplicate that file in a spot where you're at? Fine, we'll let you do that. So let's check that out. So I'm in a file here. I'm in my live templates like I would normally be. Select live templates, long press on it, and you get these options. I can archive, I can tag it, I can favorite it, I can duplicate it. Woohoo! Duplication! Yay! I can duplicate a file. Woo! I can duplicate it. Bam, no problem. And just make another one right in the spot where I'm at. It's beautiful. I love it. I can rename, I can send it. Then I can also move it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go so far as to say file management is the best on the remarkable. With those options, chill out. Now at this point, the only way that the Supernote is better than the remarkable in the file management system is the fact that you can be in a file. Like if I was in this file right here, I can just click this button right here and go, or click that icon and go back to the folder that file was in, and then manipulate inside that, do things inside that folder, like create another folder, create another file. I can favorite the list or whatever the case may be, rename it. So yeah, there's, like I said, there's advantages and disadvantages to every platform. File management as a whole, I think Supernote is the best. If you want to get into specific portions of file management, Remarkable is the best. Like I said, it gives you options to do things you can't do on a Supernote, which is duplicate the files. And it gives you things you can't do on the Viwoods, which is move and duplicate files. So there you go. Oh boy. Oh, let's get the air on. I need a graphic. I need a graphic. Big up to Mr. Media, aka Aaron, in the chat with the super things. I really appreciate it. Nope, you didn't ask way too many questions. Sheen says, loving the eInk deep dive. Completely agree with the selection tool is very key to any platform. Oh, 100%. That's my barometer. I check the selection tool. What are you giving me? How does it work? What kind of manipulations do I get? Very important. One thing Supernote doesn't take advantage of in their selection menu, though, is the Android intent system, i.e. what lets you do share to any other app with text on Boox, i.e. what lets you, the share to stuff. Okay, cool. I get you, Jay. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that they even had the capability to do that, so that's very interesting. And like I said, Mr. Media, you didn't ask me any questions. That was good. I needed to go back there. All right, so yeah, that's my Viwoods take, and those are the things I talked about on the Viwoods, and we'll talk about more Viwoods things as the week progresses, because like I said, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing Viwoods specific stuff to get this review out. Deadline's approaching, so we got to get that done. But so we're going to be talking way more about that, and we're going to bring other devices into the fold as well as we did here today. But yeah, so just to finish off that notebook LM section we were talking about, it's really good. So you don't need your own sources anymore. You can just have it find its own sources, and you can vet those sources because it's going to give you links to those sources that it picked, and you can vet those sources and say, I don't like that source. You can ask it to pick other sources. It's very adaptive. So I want to get more in depth to that and bring more of that into the fold as well for next week. But yeah, that's going to be the show for today. I really appreciate you guys today. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the input. Thanks for the super chats, you guys. I really appreciate it. We're going to try to do, like I said, more of this throughout the week there. We're going to talk more about Notebook LM. We're going to talk more about the Viwoods. We're going to talk more about what else we got going on this week. Oh boy. Oh, we got the TikTok stories that we got to talk more about. So we'll be talking more about the TikTok as well to figure out what's going on with that. I think that's super interesting. I don't know why, but I do. I think it's super interesting, and we'll figure it out. Again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday live show, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever. Saturdays we do a wrap up of the week shows at 7 p.m. Eastern time always. So we'll be doing that tomorrow as well. Join us if you can. If not, catch the replay. I really appreciate everyone who's catching the replays. Everyone who's joining. Oh, you guys like real quick. Let's hit the like button on the show. Let's throw the likes up there before we go, and that'll be great. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me as always. TGIF. I hope you have a great weekend if you can't join me tomorrow. And until next time, take care. Oh, Kurt, what's going on, bro? I'll send you the name of the Notebook LM app in the Discord, Jay. All right, everybody. Take care. Peace.